last time that you asked yourself what your greatest fears are? We've all heard mantras about facing and conquering our fears, but how well do we know our own fears? And how regularly are we working to challenge and overcome them? By looking at recent research on fear and anxiety in women, as well as my own self-growth journey that led me to explore my innermost fears, I hope that you will also be inspired to examine this area of your life, finding it as transformational as I have, and discovering that seeking support when needed is a sign of strength. Growing up in Brazil, I felt like I had to constantly look over my shoulder. And as a result, I developed a more heightened sense of awareness of my surroundings. But that didn't stop me, a cisgender woman, from traveling all over the world. To this date, I have been to 76 countries, 73 of them by myself. So, given this natural spontaneity that I have, I assumed that I had nothing to learn about fears. And it wasn't until last year, after a breakup, that I was inspired to dig deep into my childhood traumas that were affecting my self-confidence in multiple areas of my life and creating an undercurrent of anxiety. According to the CDC, since 2019, there's been an increase in depression and anxiety among women, people with lower income, and young adults. When I was growing up, I remember my mom and my grandmother being more protective of me than my brother. And I felt like I was living in a fishbowl, and I wasn't able to really learn about myself through trial and error. This past summer of 2024, I felt like I had lost touch with my true self. I had noticed a pattern that over the last 3 years, I would throw myself into a project or a relationship, and as a result, my whole life would be completely off balance. I realized I had to dig deep and figure out which unconscious patterns were leading me to make the same mistakes, how my insecurities were misguiding my choices, and how to regain the focus towards my goals. One of my friends suggested that I practice an extreme sport in order to use my body to get out of my head. I love taking an idea to the next level and adding my own twist to it. So I created a challenge where I would try one extreme sport a week for 7 weeks. I realized as I was going through the challenge that not only are you trying to conquer your fears in practicing the sport, but it's also a way of self-expression. Of course, these sports got me out of my comfort zone, and they challenged me in unimaginable ways. And out of this challenge, I also created another challenge where I would try one different martial art up until 12. And I knew that it would increase my self-confidence as well as my self-defense skills, but I also thought that it would help toughen me mentally. Now, I came out of these 2 challenges with sports that I practice regularly, and of course, I still have my long bucket list of activities that I know will help me grow mentally and physically. While I was developing my talk and learning more about my story through self-growth, I became more and more empowered by listening to biographies and by expanding my own spiritual practice. And one of the spiritual teachers that most inspired me was Eckhart Tolle. Through his teachings, I expanded my daily mindfulness practice, and I became more grounded in the present. And I was able to manage my anxiety a lot better. Most people don't realize how close they are to achieving their goals when they quit. I experienced this firsthand during one of the extreme sports. It was a ropes challenge course where you had to climb up a pole to get to a ledge and then jump to a ring, to grab a ring that was hanging from a rope. I had no idea how I would feel when I got up there. I didn't know that the ledge would feel unstable, and the ring actually looked farther than I expected. So I talked myself out of just going for it, and I fell short of grabbing the ring. Naturally, I was disappointed when I got back down, and I knew I had to try again. So the second time, I still had some negative self-talk, but I was able to push it aside, and I just went for it. And it felt absolutely exhilarating. I had no idea how much grabbing this ring would have an impact on me. When I got back down, one of the guys who worked for the company was telling me the story of the founder of the company. He said that she used to be an alcoholic and she had gone to AA but wasn't able to stop drinking. And then she did a ropes challenge course where she grabbed the ring at one corporate event she attended, and as soon as she grabbed that ring, she stopped drinking. I'm sure that many of you have heard the saying, do something that scares you every day. I had no idea how to put that into practice until last year. I want to inspire women and to guide them on their growth by choosing physical challenges to increase their self-confidence and to fulfill their unlimited potential. I hope that you now see the value of assessing your fears on a regular basis and to push yourself to your limits to where eventually there is no limit. Try to find an activity that you've always wanted to try, but something about it scares you. Maybe find a friend who wants to try it with you, or at least an accountability buddy that won't let you quit. And then, if possible, connect this physical challenge with a mental block that you've had about achieving a greater goal, and that will make the experience even more impactful. Now, I would love to share a song that I wrote on this subject.
Take the lead on your story.